Hi there and welcome back. So in this video, we are going to talk about how to set up retargeting audiences. Now, there are essentially two main options how to create a retargeting audience. So first, retargeting would be essentially targeting everybody who's been on our website for last 30 days. And let's say they have not purchased. So we would be targeting everybody who has been to the website, hasn't purchased, and we would be telling them, hey, this special offer is about to go. You're still interested? And the second way of retargeting is so-called catalog retargeting, which is set up a little bit dynamically through Facebook, which means that it will be targeting anyone who has added a product to cart but has not purchased, and it will be retargeting them within a certain time period. Now, why we only want to use 10% of the budget for retargeting? Because remember, it's a funnel, right? Remember, you are driving traffic to your store, and there's always going to be more visitors than actually purchases. So out of all of those who have been to your website, you essentially, that audience will always be much smaller than whatever custom audience or whatever interest you are targeting on in your other campaigns. And therefore, out of the pool of people who've been to your website, you will literally, all you will need is just 10% of the budget, because otherwise it will be actually, Facebook will be struggling to find you those people, right? Because essentially majority of your budget goes outside of that pool, goes to people who have not seen you, have not interacting with your brand just yet. So remember, the reason why you only want to do 10% of budget on retargeting is because that pool is relatively small on those people who actually visited your website. And therefore, we would struggle to find the right traffic with more than 10% of the overall budget. So to do the basic retargeting, so actually visitors who've been to our website but have not purchased, we first need that custom audience, and that custom audience of everybody who's been to our website. Now we're going to do that, find that in audiences. So as always, you click on this and you open this one and you click on audiences, and I've pre-prepared it already. And so once we're inside audiences, we just click on custom audience. We go to website because it's measured through your Facebook pixel on your website. We just click next. And then essentially it's going to give you your pixel. You can choose which one. All website visitors, and I would just leave it on 30 days. I would not necessarily go longer than 30 days because literally people might have forgotten about your brand if it's longer than 30 days. They might not be engaged enough anymore. And so I would just say, I would call this visitors 30 days. And that will be description, anyone who has visited website in the past 30 days. Now remember, anybody who has visited the website in the past 30 days, some of those people have already purchased as well. Okay, so we need to exclude then those from the ad set. So I'm just going to create the audience here, and that is done. That is perfect, website visitors. And I'm going to go back to my ads manager and start creating the retargeting campaign. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna create a new campaign. I also want it to be a conversion. So you wanna name this campaign. So I would just put retargeting 30 days. Retargeting 30 days, campaign budget optimization I would leave off. And typically for retargeting, for this type of retargeting, we only need one ad set. And the ad set would be website visitors 30 days, and I would put excluding purchases. So excluding everybody who purchased. So essentially you would set your budget, whatever 10% is for you. So typically, it can be as low as $5 a day, but remember, only if you're in quadrant 2, 3, or 4. And after you set your budget, you move down here and you create the custom audience. And right now we want to choose the visitors 30 days who've been to our website. Perfect. It's showing me that it's kind of spot on. And we also want to exclude people. So you're going to hit the exclude button, and we want to exclude anybody who's actually purchased from us. I normally exclude 180 days. So anybody who's purchased from me in 180 days, I normally exclude them. And why is that? Because they are already an existing customer, so we don't necessarily have to target them via Facebook again and pay for that. So anybody who has visited but has not purchased, essentially that's what it's telling you, right? Because some of those visitors also purchased, but we really are talking about those visitors who visited the website, but we are excluding people who purchased. And so all of these ones you can essentially leave the way it is, even leave it on automatic placement in this case, and then that's it, right? So again, purpose of this video is not to show you how to create an ad. I'm just showing you how to create a retargeting ad. So essentially, retargeting ads is all about the audience. The audience is super important. So those who visited your website but actually have not purchased, and then you create a retargeting ad, something similar to what the original creative was that they clicked on, but you kind of create a bit more urgency scarcity. Urgency scarcity is the really important part. So, and this is how you create a retargeting ad for all of those who visited your website, and you do that through what we call custom audience in Facebook. Now there is another way to create a retargeting ad as well, and that's called through dynamic retargeting, or what we also call catalog sales. So essentially it will be anybody who's been to your website, clicked on a product or added something to cart, but then have dropped out and actually have not purchased that product. So in that case, if you are creating that type of campaign, you still you come to the campaign setup, and instead of conversions, you click on catalog sales. So that's essentially what you would be doing, and it will give you the option here to select Shopify product catalog or any catalog that's kind of connected to Facebook. Again, the purpose of this video is not to show you how to set up the catalog, it's to show you how to set up that retargeting campaign using that what we call dynamic ad or dynamic creative, where Facebook is going to show that product, that specific product that the customer has added to cart but has not purchased. So we just click here, continue on the catalog sales campaign. And of course, it throws us straight into campaign name. And as always, we'll put here retargeting campaign, and we will set budget on literally on the campaign level and literally like 10% of whatever you are running a day. So if you're running $200, then maximum you want to do $20. Even if you're running like for $200, I would still only choose to start with like $10 dynamic retargeting on the campaign level. And so I would just call it dynamic so that we remember. And essentially what's going to be easy to do is inside the ad set, instead of having to choose your audience, so dynamic, I would just say dynamic audience. Essentially Facebook will populate all of this for you, and all you need to choose is what audience you want to target. So do you want to retarget most probably people who interacted with your products on Facebook or on Facebook. We probably don't want to use this option for this type of retargeting because that wouldn't give us enough control. So you can either choose people who viewed or added to cart but not purchased that specific product, or people who added to cart but not purchased. So obviously this step is a little bit further down your funnel, okay? This step is further down your funnel because people have not just viewed but also added to cart. So, but depending how much traffic you are getting each day, it will be different for each of you which one is better to click, this one or the second one. Essentially, you're going to have to experiment, and you want these dates to be relatively tight, okay? The reason why we want them to be relatively tight is because more than 30 days, they might have forgotten about you already, right? So the other ad that we created with the custom audience was 30-day visitors, and essentially this would be similar. People who added to cart in the last 30 days but have not purchased. So can you see how the audience is similar, but in this case, Facebook is kind of pre-preparing that for you. So you would just essentially choose one of these two and choose the amount of days that would make sense to you. Just check the rest of it. In this case, you can also just leave it on manual placement because you're retargeting. And then we would get to the ad level. And essentially inside this ad level, it's giving you dynamic creative and it's already pre-populated for you. You do have an option though to choose the text and also to choose the description. And of course, display link, you can still put your nice pretty link in here. So guys, that's how you set up a retargeting dynamic ad. Pretty simple. Which one is better? Is it the one with custom audience and custom creative better, or the dynamic one? Guys, again, as always, we're going to have to test it side by side with a systematic approach. So if we test one of them for $10 and the other one for $10 in parallel, you'll see which one is working better.